Daniel, congratulations on Resin, your movie. Yes,
Thank you so much.
and what's it like bringing your film to Toronto International Film Festival, the mother lode of all film festivals?
It's very nice. I'm from Europe and I've never been to Toronto or been here in the festival, and so far it's been amazing. Like very, very good experience. I'm very happy.
Good reception so far, I guess.
Yeah, and just in terms of like the opportunities for a filmmaker here, it's really amazing actually.
Now, I had the fortune of screening the film recently. For my fans at home, could you just give a bit synopsis of what it's about and how did you come by the inspiration for this project?
Okay, so Resin is a devastating, nightmarish fairy tale about a father who loves his daughter so much he keeps her secret from the world, and he's trying so hard to keep her close to nature and to help her to be free that he ends up almost suffocating her and forms a kind of prison. And the film is about how she deals with that and how she finds her way to freedom on her own terms.
And how did you come up with the story?
Oh, well, I was lucky enough to be presented with the script from a really great group of producers in Copenhagen, and they asked me if I'd be interested in being involved. And when I saw it was a little bit scary and a little bit about nature, uh, I was keen. So yeah, just relished the opportunity to spend 3 months in a forest.
Speaking of which, I did see the film, and that is one of the things that came to my mind when I was watching it. Logistic wise, that must have been challenging to shoot in that environment, correct? Can you talk a bit about that?
No, it was a blast. So what was really important to me was to be able to be in the environment. So we built a house in a forest, and we lived right next to it, and we just had a really great summer hanging out in the trees with insects and things. So it was actually maybe the best shoot I've ever been on. But we got very lucky with the weather, so it could have been horrible, but it was great. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Talk about the casting, especially this wonderful actress, Vivelli, playing Liv. How'd you get them on board? What did you see criteria wise in picking your actors for this film?
I think the main thing about picking actors is when they walk into the room, if you like are totally engrossed in their presence, then it's a good start. And so we street cast Viv. We sent out a bunch of like requests on social media for kids to send in self tapes of themselves as an animal. And Viv's one came in and it was amazing. And I thought, wow, imagine if she is in the movie. She's great. But you have to go through a whole bunch of other processes to make sure that the talent is hardworking and able to do this and that, and can they really act? And turns out she could do all of that. So I was very, very lucky to find her actually.
Yeah, on that note, because you put Viv through a lot, a lot of physically demanding stuff that she had to go through here, like in the mud, rolling over. She had to be emotionally, devastated at one point. Um, Talk a bit about working with Viv in making that happen for the screen.
Well, I worked together with a friend of mine called Amanda Lee, who's an actress herself. And I find it's always good when you're working with non-actors to pair them up with an actor who can give them some of the tools they need in their toolbox. And then luckily, Viv is just kind of amazing, hardworking, dedicated young growing up, really. So she was totally up for it, and she got scratched up, and her no, what did we have? No stunt girl for her. We had a couple of stunt people for some other scenes, but not for her. Yeah, she was up and down trees and like running around and butchering rabbits and doing all kinds of stuff, and also working all times of the day and night. But yeah, she's just kind of one of those special people. Yeah.
Um, as I'm wondering, that's my final question. I want to ask you about the story itself, and I'm not gonna, tell spoilers for my fans. But um, when you read the script or when you take on this project, what went through your mind? The story of this, because when I was watching it, it's like, okay, where is this story taking me? Like, what is the big reveal? And then, is this horror? Is this just mystery thriller? How do you take that on, tone wise?
Well, I think I have my own tone, and it just comes with me. So I think we're starting to discover it's more of a horror than we thought it was. Uh, I don't know. I just kind of follow my nose, like blunder my way forward. But I think definitely like the grotesque and the beautiful are two sort of like, there's a kind of dichotomy that interests me. Like, how can something beautiful become ugly? How can love become hate or death? And I think that's something. There's this sort of like trying to find something nuanced in a world of like binaries, which I think is very interesting for the world in general, especially the world we live in at the moment. Um, and just something I'm always curious about, and I'm very curious about problematic people and problematic relationships and problematic ways of living and generally problematizing life. So I think the script brought its tone, and then I just kind of rolled around in it like a happy pig in mud.
I love it. So your next projects, are they going to be as thought-provoking as this one?
I hope so. I mean, I hope I have a thriller, like a proper straight up crime thriller, which I'm excited about. I'm actually realizing that I'm really into genre because it lets you be much, much darker than you can be in drama, I think. And I like that it's a really precise frame within which to like be an artist. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. And then I have a kind of weird mind-bending sci-fi about a girl who dives very deep under the water. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Everything's very early, but I'm very happy.
Sounds like a great idea. I'm looking forward to that. I always ask this as my final question because a lot of my fans want to get into the film industry. What is your advice for aspiring filmmakers out there?
Just make things. Just make and make and make. Keep making. Don't stop. That's what you do. Yeah. So just get your like iPhone out. Get your friends. Just keep making things. Yep. That's the only way to be a filmmaker, is to be someone making films.
Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations.